Finovate showcases cutting-edge banking and financial technology through a global conference series featuring short-form demos and thought leadership. Now, the conversation continues on the Finovate podcast.
Hi, and welcome to the Finovate podcast. We are continuing our conversation with the best of show winners from Finovate Spring. Joining me today, we have Susan Langer, the CEO of Spave. Susan, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Greg. I'm so delighted to be here with you today.
Excellent. So obviously, the demo video is available on Finovate.com on the Finovate YouTube channel. I would encourage anybody who hasn't seen it to go and check out those 7 minutes. Really cool presentation. Obviously captured the ideas of a lot of our audience members. But for people who haven't seen you or heard of you before, can you give us just a quick introduction into yourself and what Spave is all about?
Happy to. I am a wife, a stepmom of 2 adult children. I'm a godparent and a daughter of aging parents. I live in rural America in Red Wing, Minnesota, along the mighty Mississippi. My professional background is in banking, marketing, and philanthropy. I have visited 33 countries on 4 continents that have immeasurably impacted my life and my worldview of myself and my role within the world. It's also what sparked the idea behind Spave.
Cool. So let's start with an overview. What exactly does Spave do?
So Spave is all about helping people realize financial wholeness and more balance in their life. So you can think of Spave as a number of apps all together. It's Mint, it's Acorns, it's Digit, it's United Way, it's Venmo, all in one. We want people to be able to use their spending. So Spave is all based on people's spending, what we do really well. And those spending ignites micro amounts that we call spaving. So you can either round up spare change, you can apply a percent, you can spave now and do a one-time donation or one-time savings. We're helping people decide how they're going to save for their future, give to the causes that they care about, and live a more balanced whole life.
No, it's a really cool idea. And again, I would encourage anybody to watch the full demo to get a sense of how exactly it works. One of the pieces which you tackle, which is really a challenge, there's no shortage of people in the financial technology community who look at how can I leave a positive impact on the world? How can I help people in a real way, in a meaningful way? Now, it's no secret that that's really difficult to do, right? When it comes right down to it, there's so many factors that kind of put downward pressure on those kinds of ideas. And so I'm really curious from your perspective, what are the biggest hurdles that you really had to overcome when you looked at kind of creating this tool, which is designed to just foster this kind of better financial future?
Well, we found that people really just want more balance, as I said before. And so we've done extensive research to better understand that audience. I mean, changing behavior is almost impossible. There is such a plethora of financial apps that are out in the marketplace. So we had to make sure that we understood our audience intimately. And they said, show me that you know me and make me trust you. I know what I want and I want it now. And whatever you do, don't make me work for it. But I want to know I'm making a difference. And we saw that as being our point of difference, that we could demonstrate to the marketplace, both consumers and to financial institutions, that we understand what the consumer wants and we can deliver it in a very unique way.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things that's really fascinating is because you look at this kind of idea that humans want to create change, not as something which you need to change about their behavior, but almost like an unrealized need for a lot of consumers. They want to be able to do this. They don't currently have a means that makes it easy for them, that kind of meets them where they're at. And so you almost are positioning this as just delivering another type of service to potential customers, just kind of meeting them there. Is that an accurate statement?
It's completely accurate. I mean, community banks and credit unions know that they need to deliver something unique to the marketplace, that there is a change in the generations. So they want new technology to engage a new generation and, of course, to generate new revenues so that they can grow their banks and that they can continually engage their communities. So our target really primarily is credit unions and community banks. Because of our unique value proposition, we're connecting consumers to companies, to causes, to the community. And those community banks and those credit unions can tap into that and help their members and their customers have a more meaningful experience and connection to their community.
Can you unpack the kind of connection to the community just a little bit more and explain exactly how that part of the process works? Because obviously there's a lot that Spave does. And so I just want to make sure everybody's really clear on where that kind of community touch point comes from.
So we know that nonprofits are also trying to do the same thing that the community banks and the credit unions are doing. They're looking for this new technology as well. Everybody wants to do good. They just don't know how to do it. This new generation that's coming in don't write checks. They don't go to galas. They give to causes, and they use their devices to do that. So these community banks and credit unions have been working with nonprofits in their communities to help engage their customers in doing good and doing volunteer projects and programs. Our app, Spave, will allow these credit unions to put those nonprofits, those community partners that they're already working with, to have a featured, unique presence within their individual app. And then their members and their customers will be able to quickly engage with those types of nonprofits. They can create campaigns. They can create matched giving within community businesses that they're doing businesses with. So there's a whole plethora of, I'd like to call it a virtuous ecosystem, if you will, where we can connect all these pieces to rise the tide, if you will, in these communities that all the boats will rise.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really crucial aspect of it for sure. And I think the other piece that we kind of touched on briefly, but I want to just highlight again, obviously in order to be able to go and help out other people and be able to have your money in a position where you can go and start donating to causes that you care about, you need to have your own financial house in order as well. You need to kind of secure your own financial future. Can you talk a little bit about Spave in that context? Because I know that's another crucial side of it for you guys.
So we believe, just like on an airplane, you put your oxygen mask on first before you help your children. We believe that you need to create your own emergency savings before you start giving to others. I mean, we do not want to change. We aren't trying to force people to do something that they don't want to do. We are giving them a tool to do things that they desire, that they already want to do, and that they know that they need to do, but just don't see a way to do it. And so let's say somebody is sponsoring a child and they contribute a monthly amount to an organization, but they really want to give more. They don't see how they can, but if they could spave on their spending, they could give incrementally more. Let's say that a local credit union engages with a Habitat for Humanity and they are going to build a house. They can get their members that are involved in contributing to building that house, but they can also contribute to giving incrementally to that nonprofit. So there's a win-win-win at every step of the way with Spave in the community, working with these community banks, these credit unions, and with their members and customers.
Yeah, well, and again, it all comes back to this idea. And one of the things that I really like about this platform is that it sort of assumes this kind of optimistic viewpoint of human beings, that people who aren't giving right now want to be able to give. People who have this kind of inherent desire among them to say, hey, I'd like to be able to help other people out, help support causes that are important to me. And that a lot of people simply just don't have the ability or the tools in place to realize that objective. But if you look at it from that lens and you think, this is actually a really crucial part of why we earn money. We want to secure our own financial futures. But most of us, I think, want to leave this kind of mark on the world. And so that's one of the things that I think really resonates so strongly about Spave and why it was so attractive to people in the audience. One aspect of the audience, of course, we're a room full of bankers. So let's talk a little bit about that kind of bank value proposition just for a second, because I know that's a really crucial piece as well. Can you underline, why banks in particular really need to prioritize and care about Spave's technology?
So community banks and credit unions are in a position where they know that they need to provide this new type of technology for this emerging and these new generations that are coming about. They don't have the resources. They don't have the time. They don't have the money, the technical knowledge. You have to keep on top of all of the changes that are happening, as we know, within fintech in particular. So we provide them with a turnkey toolkit, if you will, from a technology and a marketing side that it shows their face, their brand. It's a custom label. You can call it a white label, if you will, on that. And they're able now to offer a new technology without having to go to all that expense and that time to do it, but yet it looks like them. And so for us, we also believe in that data is vital for people both the banks and the individuals to make healthy decisions. So with the bank, we provide them access to a database that they would be able to tap into. And we call it Spave Link, where they can look at their customers' data and understand them better. Just back to what we talked about. Show me that you know me and make me trust you. If we can see where people are spending their money, how they're spending their money, where are they contributing to, we can help the banks and the credit unions to design more relevant products, better services, a more intimate, if you will, and relevant user experience, customer experience, member experience. So it's really helping them to understand and to deliver to their customer base, but also to help them use their customer base, their member base, to attract others into the fold, into their bank.
Yeah, I mean, the word community really comes to mind as you're talking about this, right? It's about creating a community within a financial institution, within a group of people who care about the same types of things. And one of the things which I think is really fascinating here is if you look at long-term growth for financial institutions, it's no secret that everybody's targeting, younger generations. We kind of look, there's this huge battle going on right now for millennials and Gen Z. Everybody kind of recognizes that if we want to have, affluent 50-year-old to 65-year-old banking customers, we need to get them when they're 25 and grow with them, right? We need to get them early. And so what you're talking about really seems like an excellent way to kind of go out and do that.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, in our market research that we've done with users and millennials and Gen Z is that they have loved what we're offering. There hasn't been any pushback whatsoever. And so we feel like we've validated what we're doing. Now we're just rolling it out. But if we work with the communities and the banks, we will be able to close that loop that they've been trying to close for so long. We tell the banks and the credit unions, be a hero. Your customers demand it, they deserve it, and we can help deliver it to them by making them be authentic in their community and making those connections.
Yeah. Well, again, show me that you know me, right? Things that are important to me, I think is a really crucial aspect to it. So, we're coming up on kind of our last question here, and let's zoom way out. Let's go super big picture. Let's talk, 5-10 years down the road. What does the world look like if you are as successful with Spave as you want to be? Paint me that really rosy picture.
So from the very beginning, when I started Spave or was imagining Spave, I was coming at it from a place where I wanted to inspire people, to motivate people to think of others first besides themselves, to have a more of a delayed gratification versus an immediate gratification towards life. I had hoped that there'd be less reliance on government and more of a community-driven ecosystem that reinforces helping ourselves and helping others. We have put some goals out there that by 2030, that's not that far out, but we want to inspire 100% of the working population in the US between the ages of 35 and 50 to be actively saving for their future, for their retirement, to be giving measurably more to charity. And that 100 million, yes, 100 million micro entrepreneurs in the developing world are using Spave technology to save for their future, something that no one has really cracked that nut on. And we believe that we can do it with Spave. But better yet, Spave is ubiquitous and it's part of the international lexicon.
No, I love it. I love the ambition. And I think, looking at how you choose to tackle it, I think you're approaching it from the right standpoint, right? And I think at this point, it really comes down to what do people really want to do with their money? And I certainly hope that you're right, that people, that the data that you have is proven that people do want to take the money that they make and use it to make an impact. I think, this is one of those things where if given the opportunity, if people have this choice, have this ability, if their financial institutions are supporting them in this journey, is this something that can become a reality? 2030 is not that far away, but a lot can happen in 8 years. So the only time will tell, I suppose.
Well, if you think about it, so I had said that I was inspired by my travels internationally, and I had traveled to Africa and I saw these women living in abject poverty, repaying their loans at a 99% repayment rate. If they could do that, we certainly can do that to easily save for our future and to give to others in need without changing our lifestyle. We can, and we will do it.
Yeah, it's excellent. And again, it's easy to see why this is one that resonated so much with our audience. Been talking to Susan Langer, CEO of Spave. Congratulations again to you and the team on winning Best of Show in San Francisco. And I will be following your story very closely, as you can probably imagine. The clock is ticking, 2030. Here we go.
Look forward to it, Greg. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
The Finovate podcast is produced by Informa Connect in association with Provoke.fm Media. Check out Finovate.com for information on Finovate's upcoming shows and to learn how you can get involved. The discount code Finovate Podcast will save you 20% on tickets to all of our events. And you can email us at info@finovate.com for information on sponsoring, speaking, or demoing. Thanks for listening.